Will you wear an England shirt this week? Will you wear an England shirt this week? You wore a shirt given by Jose Font from Lille. Will you wear an England shirt this week?
Would you like me to wear an England shirt? If England get to the final, is this what you're saying you'd like me to? Or if England win the
I'd just like you to appreciate the fact that you've got to support a home nation, like the rest of your country will be doing.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Flying the Ukrainian flags outside their windows.
That wasn't me, but... I'll tell you this, Danny. If have you got an England shirt? One of your ones from the past?
Probably, yeah.
You could bring one in for me next Monday. Yeah. And if you've won it, I'll wear it.
Good lad.
All right.
Good lad.
There you go.
For the week.
If you won it, I'll wear it. There we have one of the many listeners getting in touch with us there. It was at 10:59 on the 5th of the 7th month, 2021. Simon Jordan actually admitted he was wrong. There you go.
But in conjunction with you, a broken clock is right twice a day, isn't it?
Many England callers now. You've got up to speed this Monday morning. It took you a while, but you want to tell me where you're at, where your mindset is at. Let's just dip in and out all along the way from this point onwards. 08717 223344. If you call in, you want to come to air. I mean, you've got the chance of speaking to a man who played for England, Danny Murphy. You have a chance to speak to the one and only Simon Jordan. Then why wouldn't you want to take that chance? I understand that many of you do. Alistair, quick one from you. West Brom fan in Dudley. Good morning.
Hi, gents, how are you?
Good, thank you. Alistair, what do you want to say?
Yeah, it's just looking at the pathway left. I think it's suited to England. A couple of things, really. Firstly, if Italy play the way they have done, that's some amount of energy that they've got to get through 3 games in a week. They had to play at full tilt against Belgium, and really we were in second gear after the first 10 minutes of the second half, so we managed the game very well. We didn't use as much energy as the Italians would. They've got another major nation in the semi-final that they'll have to be at full tilt again. And I'm not saying that Denmark's going to be easy, but if you had a choice of playing Denmark or Spain to get to a final, I know which one I'd choose.
Yes.
So I just think the way that Italy play, they play the ball press so high as well. I think we've got a chance of getting him around the back of them with our speed merchants on the wing. I just really think with our fullbacks pushing on, there'll be gaps behind, and I think we'll be able to exploit that really well.
You go with that, Danny?
I think he makes a great point about the energy. They actually have been playing quite imbalanced with the fullbacks. Di Lorenzo on the right side stays in because on the left side, obviously the Spinazzola's been bombing and playing more like a left wing back and a left winger at times. So the right back doesn't go anywhere most of the time. He only occasionally goes forward.
Yeah.
So it's more down that right side. But I think Emerson's going to come on there. Who's a bit more. He'll play left back, the Chelsea lad. He's going to be a bit more defensive. So I don't think we'll necessarily see the same Italy if they get through. When we played them, that high energy by the time the final comes, because they're not daft. They know how to sit back as well. But I do understand his point. When you're playing against high quality opposition every few days, the physical output is huge. And if we can overcome the Danes without having extra time that would be a big advantage to us in the final. It's a good point.
We've had a large expulsion of emotional energy, though, haven't we? Because we played the Germans and the Scots.
True.
Scots was obviously laughter, and the Germans was celebration.
Don't start that. Oh, please. Now, building up to that keeper at Wembley. See, this is what he does. It was a question of how many it was going to be. You were the same, Danny Murphy. Don't try and get out of this. And then it was a great night for the Scots.
Swallow doesn't make a summer.
They didn't win it, but they didn't lose it.
It was the sprat to catch a mackerel to give you just a little whiff of hope.
Yeah, there you go.
Get a draw at Wembley, a little whiff of hope, and then a crushing realisation.
Matt's a Leicester fan who firmly believes, forget the Danes, forget Italy, forget Spain, it's all about England. Am I right, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely right. And thank you very much for having me on. Look, I just cannot understand how we're turning positives into negatives. We should beat Denmark. That's not a negative. That's a positive. Get excited about that fact. It says, we should be able to beat Denmark. Against Ukraine, we've had an easy
I know,
path.
Danny, shouldn't speak like that.
We've had an easy path. Well, yeah, do you know when two teams play each other that are poor, you get a poor game of football. When you get a great team against a poor team, you get a 4-0 win. England are a shining beacon in the poorest era of international football in my lifetime. The reason why our golden generation didn't do anything was nothing about the camp, nothing about mentality. It was because every other nation had their golden generation. World-class players, 1 to 11, Spain, Germany, France, Brazil, England. Every single player in those teams was world-class and achieved things. You're lucky if you can reel off 3 or 4 for that, or the other teams. England are the best team in this tournament. They'll probably win it without conceding a goal. Let's focus on what we have done and not what we could have done.
Oh, Matt, I tell you what, we could do with some of that positivity in this very studio. You guys could learn from Matt, the Leicester fan.
I think he's saying the same things that we're saying. I think he's absolutely
Just
right.
in a different way.
Just in a different order and in a different way. I think he's also absolutely spot on when he talks about the quality of international teams against previous tournaments, teams and years gone past, because it is a pretty bland landscape. You know, we raved and all of us raved about the French, and they probably played in the 4 games that they played probably 90 minutes total of decent football. And you look at these sides and you look at these teams, and he's right. But it still doesn't mean that you have a God-given right to overcome the challenges in the game, because we don't know what's going to happen in this game. We could get a player sent off in the first 10 minutes against the Danes, and it changes the direction of travel.
Yep. Well, he does make some great points.
But you are the man who called it a national disgrace if you don't get to the final.
No, I didn't. I said it was. I know attention to detail is not your favourite thing, right? But I said if we don't get to the semi-final, if we beat the Germans and don't get to the semi-final, it would be a national embarrassment. I never then went on to qualify because I thought we'd play the Dutch in the semi-final, and that might have been a more challenging game.
You've invented the car that only goes into reverse, because you're doing the same with Ole.
There is an aspect of this that when we're erring on the side of caution or talking about the reality of football, which we were earlier, which comes across as negative at times, you have to remember that England don't have to lose a game to go out. That's where the caution comes.
Well, they will, and if they lose to Denmark.
No, because
what he's talking about is penalties.
Penalties. So you can dominate a game. You know, you can dominate a game for long, long periods. You can be 1-up to the last minute and hit the woodwork 3 times, and the keeper get man of the match. And they drag you into extra time where everyone's tired and put everyone behind the ball and take you to penalties. Now, you could argue you should be able to beat any team after 120 minutes if you've got better quality. But we've seen for many, many years good teams go out to penalties, but they haven't lost the game. So in tournament football, we've actually got to go on the front foot and beat the Danes. We could go out without losing and without conceding.
Did you think that was Sean Dyche a moment ago?
I thought there are callers who thought that the Leicester fan was good. But you could do with some of Matt, the Leicester fan's positivity, Simon, couldn't you?
So basically, I have called out from the very outset that this team should get to the semi-finals of this tournament, and somehow that's negative.
But you're not giving credit where it's due.
What do you mean? What England have done is win the games that's in front of them. They haven't conceded any goals. I think they've done a very commendable job, but it isn't finished. I'm in the business. A good fight isn't one you put up, it's one you win. And winning this tournament will give me the opportunity to be sitting there saying, you know what, all these comments I've made about Gareth Southgate, the ends justifies the means.
Andy in Aberdeen, good morning. Andy's actually a Hibs fan. Jim, do not be bullied into wearing an England shirt, because when they lose to Denmark on Thursday morning, pal, wear a Denmark shirt. It's not coming home, says Andy up in the northeast of Scotland. Well, I'm not so sure, Andy, at this stage. Not for where I'm sitting, it just might.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.